welcome to the We Only Do One Take podcast. It's the only podcast in the world that is a complete shit show. I am Turch, and with me as always is my co-host, the CEO, and the only person to get a call from the jerk store. It is Kieran. How are you, buddy?
I'm really glad we are not live streaming right now because I've got food spilt here, I've got sauce spilt here. I'm just a complete mess.
Well, you know what?
And I just thought, you know what? I'm the resemblance of it as a complete shit show.
Well, this show is a complete shit show, and it just matches our personalities absolutely perfectly.
I want to do a shout out.
You can do a shout out. Go for it.
I want to do a shout out. I finally listened to Who Are These Podcasts.
Excellent. And what did you think?
Where we are mentioned. Now,
Yes.
I think last week
Yes.
in the episode, I realised Jess pointed out that I called the guy a wanker.
You did.
Right? And I had no memory of calling him a wanker.
Yeah.
Now, I listened to the episode that we're featured in.
Yes.
And I think they do a brilliant job.
It's an awesome show.
It's great.
It's a proper roasting of
I'm
something.
hooked.
Yeah.
I'm hooked on Who Are These Podcasts. And they play the clip where I call him a wanker. Now, I've listened to it a few times. I still stand by my decision. I know he said that he's not trying to say that he's famous or whatnot.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know what? I stand by it. I think it was fair use of the word wanker. And
I tried to save it as well. I don't know if you listened to
I
the
did,
clip. It's
yeah.
like, oh no, he's fun. He's fine.
I'm not calling him per se a wanker. I'm just calling him for trying to... Not that he attempted to promote himself.
No.
But I just, I thought it was great. I thought they seemed like good fun. You know, if I go over to America or they come to Australia, I would like to be on their show. They should come on our show.
Absolutely.
Yada, yada,
I would love to actually get Carl on or do something like that.
They should review one of our early episodes.
Oh, I would love them
Because I feel like we're much better now, but they need to go back to like episode 3 or something. You know
what?
Where we're probably really crap,
we were
and
really
we need
shit.
the roasting that we deserve.
You know what? The best thing about, if they do decide to review one of our older episodes, which I absolutely think that they should, like our second...
I'll fucking roast it. We should play it back. We'll roast ourselves.
Do you want to do a roasting
I
of
think
a
we should.
I'm up for that.
Yeah, next week
All right.
we pick an episode.
Yeah.
We listen to it.
Yeah.
And we just roast ourselves.
Well, the second episode of the podcast, which we had Niall on,
Yeah.
is easily our most listened to.
Yeah.
Episode 1 is just disgusting and
It's
stuff
the
like
pilot.
that.
It's the pilot.
A pilot that turned into this extreme stupidity
I think
of
the
a show.
first 10 episodes, I was fairly drunk.
I think the first 10 episodes, also the audio sounds shit in those first 10 episodes. That's before we got the proper recording equipment and proper mics, and I started to mess with all that sort of stuff. And I think the 10th episode is when we had MQ on.
Yeah.
Which was actually like probably one of the better sounding, or starting to sound better. And he's actually wanted to try and come back on because he's doing a whole bunch of really cool stuff. So we should probably get him back on as well.
For a roast.
Well, we could... Yeah, no, we should do the roast ourselves, but we should, and he can come on the show and we can roast him.
Yeah.
Have fun with that.
I think so. I think that would be great. And then let's roast 2 of these podcasts.
Why not?
They need a roasting.
You
I
know
feel
what?
like they need a roasting.
You know what? We should do it.
Yeah.
We should do it.
We should
pick
roast
an
them.
episode,
Yeah.
and then we should roast them for the thing. I reckon this is going to be the worst. If we're really living up to our slogan, this is a complete shit show.
Yeah.
Because we think of these things, and suddenly we get into trouble for doing this sort of stuff. But that's the fun of it.
That is the fun. That is the fun.
But Kieran and I have a rant.
Yes.
Because I'm sure you've listened to enough Who Are These podcasts.
I've listened to 2 episodes.
Yeah.
The one that we feature in it, and the latest one where they had that movie guy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you listened.
That's really
We shouldn't
funny.
be promoting another
I
podcast
know.
on
No,
the
it's
show.
good. It's good.
But it's fucking
I feel like
hilarious.
they're friends. But
I called him a wanker, and, we haven't got any retaliation.
That's true.
So
I feel like we're friends. It's all
I
good.
feel
But
like
one of the things.
I feel like he's missing the Australian context. That's a compliment. I'm calling it's a compliment.
Well, one of the things they talk about in Who Are These podcasts is about having a good structure for a show.
Yeah.
And ours goes sometimes a little bit to the wayside, but I think we keep it in line. We're doing the rant and then the stories and then the news articles. I think it's a nice, easy thing. So let's do it again. We're starting off with the rant. And I have a fantastic rant for you. I forgot I was on the road for work a lot, and I didn't have time to sort of print out my articles like I usually do.
I know. I
all the
noticed a
stories.
book.
I noticed a book, and it's been like, I was working from home on Friday, and I was using my own computer. I don't actually have a printer here.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't have a printer either.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things.
I have a no printer policy at home.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, that I don't have space because this is the recording studio, not the printing studio. We're doing it like that. But I didn't have my printout, so I thought, I better start. I'll write down all my notes. I'll write down all my articles and things I want to talk about, this and that. And as I was writing things down, I realized what my rant was going to be about. Shitty pens. Now, I don't know what it is about pens. You can never find one when you need it. Let's go that firstly.
Yeah.
And secondly, when you do find one that you need, it's always a color you don't want. Because realistically, you're a man.
Yeah.
I'm a man. Both subjective.
Yeah.
But
blue or black.
Blue or black.
That's all I want.
And even that, I'm like, just give me a black pen. Give me a black pen. Red, very rarely.
Give me one that and it's got the ink on it, so it just writes.
It just writes.
I don't want one. I just want it to write and smooth. I don't want it to run out.
Yeah.
I just want it, and people nick my pens.
And that's exactly
and my pens
like,
go.
so.
On Thursday in my office, I had no pens. I literally had no pens. I was like, where have they gone?
This is literally the pen I use to write down my notes.
Yeah.
You can see it here. It's a Steedler. I don't even know if that's how you say it. It's a stick 430.
It is a Toyota Camry of pens.
It is disgusting.
Yeah.
And I tried to write with it, and I had to press so hard to get the writing down. And because I was pressing down hard to get the ink out, it sort of started to, you can see, it started to rip some of the paper to go through things, this and that. And you write, but if you try to write without any pressure, no ink comes out of it.
Oh, and I hate that.
I think pens, I've got some really good ones at work because I'm like, I need good pens at work. And then like the gel sort of like a smooth, beautiful ballpoint with the gel sort of, and just beautifully comes out. Easy to write with, and you're more inclined to take notes and write a bit neater because you don't have to push and this and that. But shitty pens, I think most pens are shitty.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, I don't want to spend
$200 on a
like
really
$200.
good pen. Because I would lose a $200 pen.
Yeah, you're exactly in the same boat that I am. I would love to go, I'm going to spend a luxury item, a $200 pen. I can see why men would buy each other a pen for their birthday or something like that. It's like, this is a $200. It's like buying a really expensive watch. It's like, it tells the time, but it also it perfectly tells the time. Or it's like buying a really nice.
I had this great watch, right?
Yeah.
And I'm really shattered that I lost it. It was a surfy watch, so it not only told me the time, but it told me the tide.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. It was
I
pretty
didn't know
cool.
you were much of a surfer.
No, I used to be a fucking awesome swimmer, right? When I was really fit.
Yeah.
I used to be like a state.
Which is
champion.
ironic because your name is Kieran Thorpe.
I know. I used to be actually. Wasn't like a state champion.
Yeah.
But I was in the state champion team.
Yeah.
But I didn't win.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But I was in the team.
Yeah, just say you're in the team.
I was average in the team. I wasn't like winning golds or whatever. Even though my name is Kieran Thorpe, and at the peak, Ian Thorpe and Kieran Perkins were like leading the charge, and everyone's like, "He's got the name. He must be a good swimmer." No, I was good, but I wasn't great. Right?
Yeah. You tick the box.
I ticked the box,
the
but
important stuff.
I turned up. If that makes sense. Where was I going with this?
I don't know, something about you were good at swimming. But now we're also
the
talking about
surfing
pens.
watch, yeah.
Oh, surfing, yeah.
So I used to do squad swimming, and I'd go down to the beach every summer for like a month, and I would surf and boogie board and swim, and it was great. And then school finishes, and then you turn into a slob.
Yeah,
like
now.
And
just disgusting.
Just terrible, just disgusting.
Yeah, you sort of that routine of school, and then you go into university, which has no routine.
Yeah.
And then really fucks you up. And then going back into full-time work, you're like, what the hell? People spend all this time in one place doing things of the same thing over and over. I completely understand that. Terrible. But I'll tell you what, I don't know what it is about pens, but they just fuck you over all the time. They're either empty, you can't find one.
Very disappointing.
You'd think that a pen, we would have come up with the technology where every pen was good.
See, I'm just shattered that we're a little bit too old. we're not of the generation, because I still like to write things down with a pen, but I'm not at that generation where I can write everything on my like phone or my laptop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I still feel like I need to make lists with a pen.
Yeah.
Or I need to write stuff down.
I've got the Surface Pro, which is what we use to record everything.
Yeah.
And it actually comes with like this pen you can use to draw and write things. It's not 100%, but it's pretty good.
But the youth of today are using that. They're quite comfortable. They don't need pens.
Yeah, exactly right.
They're
But I
using
would
the
just I would,
technology.
but if I had my Surface Pro, I would just be far better off just typing or just writing things down in a notebook. Like, I would just find it so much easier because that's the way I've done it for so long. I've noticed, I don't know if you've seen this because you're a bit of an academic and this and that, but people just take photos of the screens these days with their phone. I'm like, how do you learn from that? Like, that's like me getting the slides after a presentation. I'm not going to read these. These are just going to go to the pile of other things.
Yeah.
I remember the first week of university, I thought to myself, I'm going to print out all my notes. And, like, trying to be the good guy. And, like, one subject was like 100 lecture slides. And I printed them out. Like, even, like, double-sided, that were 50. And then I'm like, oh, next week I'll do it 4 on a page or this and that. Bad decision.
I learned very quickly that my best way of learning was just going, what were the learning objectives, and writing my own exam questions.
Yeah. It sounds about right.
Than trying to print notes. That's what I did. But that's not to do with pens. I know what you're saying about pens. Pens are disgusting. Pens are terrible. Pens are not great.
Well, I want to... You know what? I still use a pencil to do, like, calculations and formulas. I'd rather use a pencil.
Yeah, but then you got to carry a sharpener.
I'd rather get a pencil and a sharpener than 10 shitty pens. Like,
I'll get you a $200 pencil.
I would love a $200 mechanical pencil. And I'm not even that big on the mechanical pencils.
Oh.
Yeah. This is like the boringest part of the podcast when we just go, actually, I don't like this specific type of thing. I was thinking that. I was on YouTube.
I'm going to point it out because the listeners are listening right now and they're thinking it, and I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
This is the shittest rant you have ever done. You normally yell. You're doing a Kieran rant.
Yeah, it's true.
You're doing a Kieran rant right now. I'm pointing it out to you. That is how crap your rant is.
I'm very sorry, people. Look, it was a long week.
In 100 episodes' time, we're going to review this episode.
Please.
And I'm going to be saying exactly what I'm saying now.
Probably. But look, I was on the road. I was very tired. But I ranted about something.
I've got a rant as well.
Oh, that's good.
It's a movie review and a rant.
You got a movie review and a rant.
I saw Spider-Man last night.
Spider-Man was Homecoming.
It is the shittest film I have ever seen.
That is a big call.
Have never been more disappointed in a film.
Question. What is the criteria this time? Is it the fact that he had no leg room? Was it the food? Or was just the film itself?
No. Legroom was fine. I was stocked up on food and drinks. There was nothing. I was so bored halfway through. So bored that I got up and went to the candy bar and bought myself a Choc Top. Because I was like, I've got to get out of this. This is the worst film. The plot doesn't make sense. It's gone away from what Spider-Man is. Marvel have taken it in this weird direction. I don't understand how these... I got so stuck up. I can't even remember. But there was like, they said this line. And then I'd be like, but that character wouldn't say that. Why would they say that? That's just... why I don't understand why they would say that. That just makes no sense. And then I'm thinking about it, and then I've got no idea how this... I was like, who is this monster turned up? I don't know much about the Avengers or the Marvel or whatever.
Yeah.
But this superhero turns up, right? Fighting this monster. And I'm like, I have never seen any of these characters in any of the previous films of the Avengers.
So have you seen all of the other Marvel universe stuff?
I'm like, I don't know where these have come from. They've just seemed to have created them out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then the good guy turns out to be a bad guy. But I was like, whoa, what a plot twist. Like, I didn't see that coming. That was crap. But and now he turns out to be some kind of good guy. But the reason why he's a bad guy was something related back in one of the other Stark films or something like that. But it didn't. It was like poorly executed. It was like they hadn't thought about it, but now, well, we'll just make more money by making another Spider-Man film, and we'll try and like backfill, but it doesn't quite work. It was shit. It was so crap. And other people were cheering, and I was like, I am disappointed.
I can never understand why people would cheer in a cinema. Like at a live music concert where the people are in front of you, completely understand. Even like...
I walked out halfway through.
I
walked out. I had more fun talking to the person behind the counter, and I was telling them how shit Spider-Man is. And she's like, aren't you watching it? I'm like, yeah. I've walked out.
Oh my God.
Can
you get how far into a film can you go to get a refund?
I don't know, but I'm disappointed in myself for not asking for a refund.
Well, speaking of shitty stuff, I was on YouTube looking for like new stuff to watch.
Yeah.
And I thought, what's the weirdest thing? We were talking about reviews just before, and you just did a movie review. What's the weirdest thing you can review? And I found a whole channel that reviews elevators. And I got sucked into the what late YouTube is like. You just get sucked into something. Like it used to be for me. Like I used to watch all these like videos about Pokemon for some reason. I don't even play the games or watch it. I just like understanding the math behind it or something. This is like elevators. The guy's like walking into it. It's like, oh, this is a 1970s thing. They've redone the lights. Oh, it looks really good. Oh, look how smooth it goes up and down. Oh, it's only 3 floors. That's very... Why the hell am I watching this? But I couldn't look away.
Oh, wow.
I should show you, because I have a feeling that you will also be in the same boat as me of going, I don't want to watch this, and after 10 videos, you're like, actually, that was a pretty nice elevator. I'm just going to put it out there.
I mean, I have been in some crappy elevators. I've also been in some good elevators, but I can't review it.
But this guy's got 30,000 followers, like subscribers on YouTube. I'm like, what is something really shitty and like, that we can film together? Go out once a week, film with 2 cameras, like, 2 of our phones, film it.
Dogs taking craps in the park.
No.
That's what we could review. That's a good crap.
No, I think we're just going to go along and just review people's fences or something like that. This is a really nice fence. Like, look at this. Oh, or shitty fence. Yeah, look at this old classic sort of fence. We've got to just find something, some niche thing that people are going to follow. Because this guy's reviewing elevators and getting like 10, 20, 30,000 people watching each video.
Oh, fuck.
That's amazing.
That is just... Good on him.
Oh,
good on him.
Well, speaking of people who are getting lots of people following them, have you been following anything about Belle Delphine? Do you know who she is? Do you know what's happening in the world? This is my first news story, obviously, but...
I have no idea about the words that came out of your mouth.
Beautiful. So
you are just equivalent to Spider-Man last night.
Sounds about right. Well, Belle Delphine. Let me tell you a little bit about Belle Delphine. She is a gamer girl.
Okay.
She's UK based.
Yeah.
She's an Instagram model.
United Kingdom for
United Kingdom, that's
American
right.
friends.
Focusing on cosplay. So she, remember we had the
the cosplay people.
Yeah, the cosplay. Yeah. We should get them back on. They dress up. So she dresses up as characters, but she's a little bit more provocative in their looks and this and that. She's quite young and she's quite suggestive. So I'm going to show you because I know that I'm giving you an idea of what she is.
Yeah.
But I'm going to show you. So I've got her Instagram up now.
All right, we're getting the Instagram up.
Here we go. Up here. Just loading, because that's the way Australian internet is. So this is her Instagram. Now, she started this back in 2015. And since then, she's gained over 4 million followers. So, no, not a bad...
All right, Turch is putting his glasses on.
Not a bad spread,
so
right?
So we can see his eyes.
It's distant. And you can see why she has so many followers, right?
Yeah.
Very,
very suggestive.
Very suggestive.
PG suggestive.
She looks like an anime girl. She has braces. I think she's like 19 or 20.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I don't quite know. I couldn't find her age, which is probably, probably a good thing.
Yeah.
But this is what she looks like.
Yeah. NASA supports her. Sponsors her.
Yeah. So anyway, she's been in the news quite recently because she's done something that if I could do,
Yeah.
I would absolutely do. But I'm going to build up to that
Okay.
because you don't know anything about
I
it.
don't know anything about
So
it.
I'm going to give you a bit of history and what happened very recently.
Okay.
Okay, so in 2016, she started a YouTube page. She only has like 3 videos on there. And since then, she's moved on and focused in on Instagram.
On Instagram.
As you can possibly see. So she's gained all these Instagram followers, this and that, up to about 1 million or so. And then she started a Patreon in 2018, where she has different tiers of levels of support.
Can we talk about this, the thoughts or whatever they were called?
Yeah, so she's kind of part of this.
Yeah.
Part of this sort of thing. So you can sort of see here, like this is what her thing is. And for various different levels of her Patreon, you can get certain things. Yeah. So the first one, as you can see, is bronze.
So she's basically at the moment doing soft porn.
Basically.
And does she move into full porn?
Well, let me talk about that.
Okay.
First tier is $1 and the final tier, which apparently someone's actually paid for, is $2,500 a month. And included in that tier.
This is bronze or the 2000?
No, this is the 2000. Is you get basically everything for the other ones, including like some Polaroid pictures, like of just for yourself, premium Snapchat communication, and I think this one here is that apparently the person who has it said that once a month they have an hour Skype call with her.
Once a month.
Once a month, something like that. There's a whole bunch of other things you can look it up. It's very interesting. But on June 2016. She stated that, I think it was this one. Yep. That she stated that if she got 1 million likes on one photo, she would start a Pornhub account.
Okay. That was in June 2016.
Oh, sorry, 2019. My mistake.
June 2019.
And that photo got 1.8 million.
1.8 million, okay.
And since then, she did create a Pornhub account with no porno on it. She never said she would actually do porn.
Oh, I know where this is going. Yes.
But most recently, and this is what she's in the news about now.
So we don't put any porn up and we get taken down.
Yep. Well, she's doing softcore.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
All right.
Okay, so most recently she started an online store where you can buy merchandise. And she has come up with the greatest thing she could ever sell, which is no effort at all. No effort on her behalf or anything like that. She is selling for £30 or $30. Can't remember off the top of my head, but it'd say $30.
Yeah.
A jar of her bath water.
And someone will buy it, yeah.
And it's a limited run, of course. And in the first day, it sold out.
Good for her.
It sold out, yeah. For $30, she sold all of her bath water, this and that, and people were buying it. Now, I've seen various things online, and I wanted to double check it and this and that, but I couldn't verify a lot of things. I saw one person's a Facebook comment, this and that, saying he actually bought 3.
Yeah.
One for him to keep, one for him to use as a masturbatory aid, and one to sell in the future because it's going to go up in value.
Okay.
I saw other things, people going, yep, I've bought like X amount. People confirming with her if it actually is the water she sat in the bath or where she just but no, there's some pictures of her on her Instagram in the bath where she sort of explicitly sort of says, so, you can't really go and say, it's not. The final thing I saw was people trying to resell it because it sold out, resell it on eBay for like $1,500.
Wow.
And I was looking for that today before we record it, and I just couldn't find anything.
Wow.
On eBay, on the UK one, on the Australian one, on the American one, all this sort of stuff. I just could not find anything on eBay. Either they've taken it all down, or they've they're not allowed to do that, because eBay does that occasionally. Like, you can't resell certain things. But yeah, so Belle Delphine, she has literally, I wouldn't say scammed. Scam's a really strong word. But she's definitely played the game in a way.
She has built her own leverage.
Yeah,
She's built her own leverage, her own brand. She's taken the risks to put herself out there, and she's now reaping the rewards.
She's reaping. Well, I would say that she would have to be making on Patreon because it doesn't actually show how much she's making on Patreon. But she easily would have to be making about, I would say, between 20 and 50,000 US dollars or pounds.
A month. A month, yeah. Well, good on her.
Plus, like all the other stuff, like any donations, plus anything, like all the brand sponsorship deals, plus her online store, which I'm sure is getting, even if she goes 1,000 bottles of her bathwater at $30 each, that's 30 grand in a day.
That's good on her. I hope she's being smart with her money, though.
Now, the only thing is, I hope that she doesn't get caught by this thought audit. Because I know that's happening. Because I just think she's doing it so well, and she's basically set herself up for life. But, incredible
the
sort of stuff.
The internet is the biggest money generator.
Oh, yeah.
This century.
If you like softcore porn, and if you like making softcore porn, and you're a semi-attractive girl, you can make a lot of money if that's what you want to do. And that's all she is. Like, I don't find her overly attractive at all. But that's just me.
Oh, it's just good marketing.
But she's done something. She's hit a niche market, and that niche market is willing to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars over, a couple of years, or thousands of dollars a year on products. Like, I think I read somewhere that you only have to have 1,000 followers that will buy $100 worth of merchandise a year, and then you made $100,000.
That's it.
And she's obviously got way more than that. If she's getting 4 million Instagram followers, even if you go 10% of that is buying something or donating $1, that's 40 grand a year, and I'm sure they're donating far more than that.
Good on her.
Good on her.
Well done.
Move that cup over there.
It's empty. Hey, you tagged me in something.
Did I?
About the
not
putting the drink on your musical instruments.
Yeah. Thank you, the hard times.
Oh, I'm always getting yelled at in this studio. Turch, I've got an article for you.
Oh, fantastic. What have you got for us?
An MP, that's a member of parliament, has turned up drunk to a scheduled meeting to tackle alcoholism.
Oh, please, tell me more. I'm for it so far.
The Molyneux Member of Parliament in Kenya shocked his constituents on Thursday after showing up for a meeting drunk. The legislator's actions angered many of the area residents as the meeting was convened to discuss how to deal with the alcohol menace. Mr. Kimnami had to practically be hoisted over the fence and supported to his seat before he was eventually ushered away from the venue. We were surprised what happened by our MP, who we look up to help us deal with alcohol, came here drunk out of his wits, said one of the area residents.
That's fantastic.
He has brought us shame. We used to love him, but his actions today left us in shock, added another.
Was it the Kenyan? It seems like, some of those African nations, I can't remember exactly, it might have been Uganda, but I'm going to say Kenya, just for the sake of this story.
Yeah.
They were complaining that rich people in Kenya were ordering pizzas from the UK and flying them in.
Yeah.
I would love to, Australian Parliament, pretty boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would love to be the fly, on the wall in that room where they're bringing in this guy that's stumbling to his feet and they've got to drag him across the floor, just to get him into the room to talk about being drunk driving or, alcoholism. And he's the one that, reaches.
Do you know how many of our MPs are drunk after 6 o'clock on a sitting day?
I would say most of them, because sometimes they don't even rock up to Parliament.
They go to the members' hall, they drink some wine, they turn up.
I've had a few friends that I've ended up going to Canberra and working there and stuff like that, and they just say everything, like alcohol and food and stuff, is really expensive over there. because they just expect these MPs and ministers and people that work in the government sector, they all earn a little bit more in Canberra
Than everyone else, yes.
and then they just go to these restaurants and just drink. And a lot of them just go, oh, you're the minister, works out and this and that. It's pretty interesting.
Don't you get any ideas? I'm not dining you out of my CEO budget.
Yeah, you know what? If you started that Patreon, maybe we can get somewhere, and we could do a calendar.
We can do a calendar?
Do you want to do a calendar?
What's a
2020 calendar?
Oh.
You and I? We'll see if we can sell it. We'll do like a limited run of 10.
Only if who are these podcasts do it as well.
I don't know if we can get them involved, but we'll definitely...
I'm putting it out there.
That's your challenge.
We'll do 6 months. They do 6 months. We'll sell a calendar.
It's just Carl. Oh, I could use other co-hosts, I guess.
Yeah.
But we could do it. We could get this. We can get some of our listeners to help out.
Yeah.
Some of our regular guests.
That's it.
Oh, that'd be a heap of fun. But you got to see it. We're gonna get that Patreon going. That's the big thing. Hey, Kieran, when we finished up the episode last week.
Oh God, what did I do?
I told you a story. I told you a story about the Uber driver.
Yeah. Do you know why I said that?
Why?
Because people tell me, they're like, oh, you said this in the podcast. I don't remember. I've got no idea. We do these podcasts and then I live my week and then we record again. I don't even know I called that guy a wanker.
That's very true. And I try to remember as much as I can for both of us because
Yeah, well, you're working with me, of course.
But look, that's right. But last week, you said, excuse me. I told you this story about our Uber driver when we went to a friend's birthday.
Yeah.
Because you were in Singapore and then
your Uber driver was very cautious.
Yeah. So I actually wanted to tell this story. The more I thought about it, the more I had to tell this story on the podcast.
Yeah.
So here's the story, everybody. Kieran was in Singapore at the time, and I was on my way to a friend's birthday with my partner and one of her friends. So we all met up at our house. We were having a few drinks, and my partner Jess called the Uber. And Jess, being the super racist that she is, said, "Oh, we've got a female driver." And everyone's like, "Oh, that's fine, whatever." And then she's like, "Ooh, Asian woman driver. That's interesting." Anyway, so the Uber driver apparently parks out the front of our house, texts Jess and says, "I'm at the front, come on out." Anyway, we get out the front and halfway down our street is the Uber driver.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, that's all right." So we walk down to the Uber driver. I was like, "Okay, not off to a good start. Not off to a good
She's
start."
living up to a stereotype.
Yeah, living up to a stereotype. It's like, you know what, there's lots of cars around. I've had friends that have gone to the wrong house.
Before.
Yeah, you got to exactly right.
I've been waiting outside the wrong.
Yeah,
don't judge her on that.
No, but it's the thing, I've had people not go to the right house and this and that because we moved in not too long ago. So we get into the car and she's like, "Oh, hi, how you doing?" I'm like, "Yeah, all good. Off to the city, off for dinner, this and that." And then the next thing she says to us. Now, remember, I did have this rant ages ago about Uber drivers not getting up to the standards that they used to be. Because I remember I talked about how they don't give you the mints anymore or don't give you water.
There's no water, there's no mints.
There's no mints. It's
a very disappointing
you can't plug in your own music anymore. It's all that sort of stuff. I think that at the start of this journey, she really upped her game. Because she goes to us, before we even left, we all got in the car, we all left. She said to us, "Oh, would you like some mandarins?"
Yes.
And I'm like,
"And did you accept?"
"No, that's okay." She goes, "Oh, it's okay. I picked them from my tree at home." And I'm like, "That's even worse." You could have done anything to these mandarins. Not that I would say that she would.
Mandarins are wrapped up in a skin. You've got to peel them back.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, but I saw them and they're sitting in her console, in between me, because I was sitting in the front seat next to her, obviously, and they were just sitting there. And I'm like, okay, I don't really want these. Anyway, we're having a bit of a laugh at the back, and we're driving forward, and she's driving very slow.
Yes, very slowly, yes.
Slower than walking pace, I would say, to fit between cars. And suddenly I'm like, uh-oh, this is going to take a long time. It's meant to be a 25-minute drive.
Yeah.
25-minute drive. So we're driving around over that. I have to explain to her on the way. I have to explain to her the road rules. Like, there's a 2-lane sort of thing.
Now, let's juxtapose this
Please,
for the moment. Because at this moment, I know I'm in Singapore.
You're
and
in Singapore.
I'm in the hotel room.
Yes.
And at about this moment, I'm making a decision. Do I open the cheesels from the minibar, or do I open up the chips?
Yep.
And I went with the cheesels.
Cheezels, good choice.
But I also learned that it was free.
Oh,
there
wow.
was no charge.
That's pretty good.
I know. I found out afterwards. When I checked out, expected to pay the bill, and there was no bill. They're like, no, everything was complimentary.
Oh, that's amazing. You could have taken everything.
There was beer in there.
Now I'm very disappointed in you.
I know.
So we're still driving. So we're driving.
So I just want you to know that that's what's happening at the
well,
moment.
it's good.
I'm
'cause
having this
you're
internal dialogue.
You're part of this story.
I know. Am I having the cheesels or am I having the chips? It was a very
So we're driving down.
I was also being health conscious. I wasn't going to have both.
You should have. We're still driving. I'm teaching her the road rules. She's turning on her indicators about 2 kilometers earlier than she needs to. I'm like, oh, okay, this is not very, very healthy. And at this point here, we're crossing Victoria Road, like near Brunswick Street and stuff like that. We're crossing over, and she didn't understand that you have to go straight into the intersection to the traffic island and then turn right.
Yeah.
She just expected that you had to turn right, but she wasn't in the right lane. She was actually sort of in the middle lane, and she thought that would go straight. I'm like, no, you have to go straight because it's straight over the traffic going one way into the middle and then take a right.
So for the listeners that don't understand.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, she didn't understand this concept, and I had to explain it to her. And that's when I got a call from you.
So at this point, I've now eaten the cheesels.
You have eaten the cheesels.
You have now been finished.
I don't know what you were. You were definitely, I don't know, maybe full of carbohydrates and very happy with stuff. But I think you may or may not have had some alcohol.
I think I also had some alcohol.
You're in a good state within your own personal being.
Yeah, I had just had cheesels. I think I had some a gin and tonic.
Yeah,
or
multiple
two, or
gin
three,
and tonics.
or
Complimentary
tonics.
So I get a phone call from you, and I'm like, "Hey, we're on our way to our friend's birthday."
This is
video
a
Facebook video chat.
Yeah.
And so I'm video chatting. You can sort of see the 2 girls in the back and our Asian driver next to us.
Yeah.
And you're talking about, it's like, oh, I'm having a good time, this and that. I'm like, yeah, we're on our friend's birthday. We'll say hello for you. And then you're like, oh, I got a story to tell you about the hierarchy of Asian women. I'm sitting next to this Asian woman driver who I already had issues with because she's not so good at driving. And then I got this friend out of nowhere Facebook messaging me saying Asian women hierarchy.
Which if you haven't listened to
the previous episode.
Listen to the previous podcast where I explained this.
So that's why I was like, oh my God, no, dude. Save it for the podcast. Save it for the show.
I thought you hung up on me very abruptly.
Yeah, I did.
And I was like, he hung up on me. Why did he hang up on me? This is not good.
Yeah, this is not what Turch usually does. He usually does.
I know. I mean, I already had enough conflict that day because I had to choose between cheesels and chips. So I was like, I'm doing a weight loss challenge.
Do we stop the podcast now because of Turch? Yeah. So we finally get to our destination, and this is in the CBD. We were going to the Hofbrauhaus, which is like a German-themed restaurant in Melbourne, and it's down Market Lane. Now, Market Lane is almost impossible to get down.
You don't. You walk.
You walk. Yeah, you get off in the Uber.
You don't drive down Market Lane.
Yeah. Guess who tried to drive down Market Lane?
Your Uber
Our
driver.
Uber driver.
Yeah.
So we just said to her, no, just park to the side here on on Burke Street and we'll just get out. She's like, oh, no. I'll try to drive down Market Lane. Anyway, we convinced her to get out of the Uber on Burke Street, and we finally walk across. And as I'm walking across, I'm just like, oh, thank God it's out. Like, we're actually like, instead of taking 25 minutes, it's nearly taken 40.
Mm-hmm.
That's how slow she was driving. And then I just hear from the back both Jess and her friend going, oh my God, we should have just gotten out of that Uber and got another one. She was so slow, so horrible. Asian women. Asian drivers, the stereotype is real. And I'm like, yes, finally, vindicated. But it was a very long drive. But the icing of the cake was you giving me a call and talking about the hierarchy of Asian women in Singapore. And I'm like, I just got to hang up, man. It was...
You should have let me go.
No, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is
on.
bad enough as it is. Like, I couldn't do that to us. That was... It was an experience.
I was, I had to have another gin and tonic after that.
Oh,
I was
it's alright. I started on the beers. That was like the first beers I've had during that keto diet, and I was living the dream that night. I'll tell you what. Anyway, what news have you got for us?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, because I know everyone's dying for their weekly news uptake. There are a number of music festivals around, and after a music festival, the cleaners have to come in and clean up. Turch, what is the weirdest thing you think the cleaners have had to clean up from a music festival?
The weirdest thing, I would have... If it's weird, I would say like condoms maybe, or maybe cocaine, or something like that. Like, it have to be like drugs or sex objects.
Are you wrong? A poo in a bra in a tree. Some of the weirdest things found... At the Glastonbury by the Glastonbury litter pickers.
Yep.
A mammoth operation is underway this week to remove every trace of the 175,000 Glastonbury festival goers from the countryside. A team of 2,500 litter pickers have been working throughout the festival, and in the days since, to clear the fields of every scrap and waste left from a population the size of a small city. The story is rather boring after this, but the weirdest things they have found.
Mm-hmm.
A poo in a bra hanging in a tree.
That's amazing.
A cannonball. Mannequins.
A cannonball?
And lost wallets and jewellery.
Well, lost wallets and jewellery is sort of expected.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. I found a mannequin.
And a cannonball.
And a cannonball.
And a poo in a bra up a tree.
I could see.
I want to know how that poo got in that bra and how that bra.
No,
I know how the bra got up in the tree because there was poo in it.
I guarantee you, I know. I'm more inclined to. I'm more interested in how they got a cannon, like why they brought a cannonball in, than how the poo got into the bra and then the bra got up the tree.
Yeah,
because I can just see like a woman does not want to use the female toilet. Have you ever been to a music festival?
I have. The toilets are disgusting.
They're disgusting. And I'm sure a woman's just gone, I don't want to do that. I'm going to find somewhere hidden behind. I'll just poo in my bra because I'm not going to wear it anyway at this music festival. And then she's just gone, what do I do with it? And I just throw it. Guaranteed that's what happened.
That's a very logical explanation.
Very logical explanation. But the thing is, for me, like, Glastonbury, I know that the UK itself is cracking down on firearms, are cracking down on knives. Like, you can't even, like...
But they've got a cannonball
You can't even, like, in London, you can't even buy spoons and knives and forks unless you're over the age of 18. That's a law.
Spoons?
Spoons. Any sort of cutlery.
How are they going to play spoons?
No idea. So, but this gentleman, or lady, whoever it is, has got access to a cannonball and decided, you know where I'm going to bring this? I'm going to go into a music festival with this. So instead of carrying alcohol with them and smuggling in the alcohol, they're going to smuggle in a bag or like look like a pregnant lady. I don't know. But they've got it through security somehow and left a cannonball at a music festival. All of that, like just the thought process, like what is the purpose? It's heavy. It's not like a beach ball where you can throw it around and have some fun with it, and know you're going to lose it. No, you're probably going to lose your cannonball as well. But you've got this extra this additional thing of having to get it through security.
It's a challenge. I challenge you to your next music festival to take in a cannonball.
A cannonball.
And poo in a bra and throw it up in a tree.
The last festival I went to was like Big Day Out, but like 8 years ago.
They don't even do Big Day Out.
No, they don't. They don't do Soundwave anymore as well.
Oh. Splendor in the Grass is coming up.
Yeah, but there's not one I want to see.
But I've never been to Splendor in the Grass. Yes.
It's pretty impressive. What is like the weird, I can't even think what the weirdest thing I saw at even a Big Day Out and stuff like that. I just remember ditching my ex-girlfriend and running around going to see all the bands that I wanted to see. It's like, yeah, we'll meet back here and after this band, and then just never reaching.
Never turning up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, toilets are disgusting at music festivals. Yes.
Yeah, don't do it. Well, look, Kieran.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a quick rip around the news.
Okay.
And then I'll go into my next article because I found some stuff about our two favourite topics, Trump and Flat Earth. And they're not real full articles, but I thought to myself I would just bring it up. So this is a Trump date, not a Trump watch. It's a Trump date. He claimed that the revolution, it was 4th of July.
Yeah.
He did his big speech and this and that. And during his speech, apparently, he claimed that the Revolutionary Army took over the airports in 1775.
What the?
And then he blamed his teleprompters that had the wrong information on it when he was reading them. So he's blaming the teleprompters for getting that completely wrong. So you can look that up online. It's very funny. And also you can look up on YouTube is that Trump tells his coughing chief of staff to get out of the Oval Office.
Coughing chief of staff.
Yeah, so
his chief of staff was coughing.
Yeah, so he was being interviewed about some financial things, and Trump was like, they're going to be the best documents, the best financial statements. You'll get, as soon as you see them, you'll see the best. In the back here, his chief of staff coughing, and they finish the take, and Trump looks at him and goes, get out, we're going to do that again. And everyone's like, oh, what is this horrible person throwing someone out of the office? I'm like, no, this guy's been on TV. He's done press releases, this and that. He knows what is needed for the camera and for news and this and that. What you don't need is someone in the Oval Office coughing in the background. So, completely vindicated in my opinion. But happy 4th of July to all our American fans out there. Very important. And then a Flat Earth update.
The Earth is flat?
Well, they haven't figured that one out yet. But a Spanish soccer team has renamed itself Flat Earth FC. They're in a 4th division. So they've moved up from no division into the 4th division, and it's to promote the cause. How exciting. And the Flat Earth Australia group, who I'm still a part of apparently.
How we have not been kicked out of that group.
I'm still waiting for that.
I don't know. They don't vet their followers
No,
very well, do
no.
They don't have to do a quick search to find that not that I use Facebook much anymore.
Yeah.
But it's filled with Christopher Hitchens.
Yeah. Or me going, this is not real, or us yelling at each other on the podcast about Flat Earth and having to laugh at them. Apparently, so this gentleman posted an article complaining that regular people make fun of them because they use memes as evidence.
Memes are not evidence.
And yet, the posts above it continue to use memes as evidence.
Memes are not evidence.
Memes are not evidence, but
memes are hilarious.
Memes are fun. Not evidence to do anything like that.
Do we have any memes?
No, because we should make some. Well, you know what is up on YouTube? Your apology.
Oh, God.
Which you can watch right now, and I highly recommend it. I fixed up the audio and this and that. And it's actually really fun. It's like 5 minutes long, so if you want to...
I don't watch anything. I do it, and then I'm one take
One and done.
One and done. I'm out. I'm done. I do no more.
Fair enough. Well, look, we'll be talking about diets. We did a big challenge and this and that. Some very crazy news.
Mm-hmm.
The Department of Defense, US Department of Defense, has a plan to ban pizza and beer and push those members of the United States government, like all those Army, Air Force, this and that, like the Defense Force, to move them into a keto diet only.
They want the Defense Force.
They want the Defense Force to be keto only. So yeah, they were talking of converting the military diets to keto, especially the Navy SEALs. So no beer, no burritos, no pizza, anything with carbohydrates, basically. Get them on a really low carb.
Well, they're more like, I think the SEALs are more like professional athletes.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, you want to be eating your diet if you're a professional athlete. Needs to be at a.
Yeah, exactly right. And they're talking about doing some almost daily or at least weekly, but at least up to daily testing of that sort of stuff. And there's going to be a complete overhaul of the MREs, which are the meals ready to eat, like the ones out of the bags and stuff that heat themselves up and stuff like that when they take out, like the ration bags and stuff like that, which is super interesting. Because I can't think to myself, like, let's say you're in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
taking care of something like, this and that. And, okay, first of all, I found out recently that the US military
Yes.
is not allowed to have pornography. So if you're in America, you can't have pornography on your computers.
If you're in the military.
In the military.
Yeah.
If you go overseas,
Yeah.
you also can't watch pornography or have any sort of pornography with you. So that old thing of like they used to have pin-ups and, have like all the Playboy magazines passed around, completely thing, and you can get in trouble for having those.
Right.
So imagine you're in the middle of nowhere, like, Afghanistan, Iraq, this and that, and you're just, being security, basically, glorified security. And then after a 10-hour shift of standing in the sun, you can't even go back and have a wank.
No, you can. You just can't use...
There's no pornography.
There's no material. You got to use your mind.
That's right. So imagine all of that, and now they're going to take away your ability to have beer and pizza.
And pizza. Oh, they're going to be riots.
It's going to be
riots.
So I thought at the start, that's good. Like you were. Navy SEALs, should really take care of the thing. Wait, no porn, no beer, no pizza. That I would probably kill myself. Let's put it out there. So very interesting. I feel very sorry for them. Maybe they can put all their extra money and get some Belle Delphine pictures or whatever they're up for in there. But it's very, very sad to sort of hear.
That is sad.
They deserve better than that, especially around 4th of July.
Unbelievable. Turch, I've got another article for you.
What have you got over there?
Well, let's go on the theme with Defence Force and security and police. A man posing as a police officer. A Florida man.
Oh, Florida man is back at it.
Posing as a police officer. Pulled over an actual police officer this week.
Oh.
Barry Hastings Jr. was arrested for impersonating an officer when he attempted to pull over an off-duty county sheriff's deputy, according to the police. The deputy was driving on I-4 when a black Crown Victoria and white and amber lights pulled behind him with emergency lights activated.
Amazing.
After the deputy pulled his vehicle to the shoulder, the sheriff's office said Hastings, 35, told him to slow down.
So wait, this guy who was pretending to be a police officer, wasn't just dressed up walking around. He had a vehicle. Set up, and he was pulling people over.
When the deputy twice asked Hastings for his credentials, Hastings insisted he was an officer and that his credentials were at his office, which said he offered to lead the deputy to the station to get them. Hastings fled when the deputy said he would contact law enforcement and dialed 911, but was stopped by a Hillsborough County Sheriff's deputy when he exited the highway, officials said. This is just...
Oh, what a story. So a fake cop got pulled
Why
over
is he
by...
pulling over someone? What do you think he's going to get out of it?
What? I can understand going into a fast food place because you get you get either a military discount or a law enforcement discount, because that's what they do. I know in McDonald's in Australia, for cops and fire brigade and ambulance guys,
they give them
50% discount or 75% discount, this and that, because they like the presence around, and two, they're doing a good job, an important job, and it's the least they can do. Keep them off the keto diet for as long as they possibly can.
That's it.
But I would never go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull people over and, write them a ticket? He mustn't have been doing this very long because I could see a bunch of people, unless he was scamming people. That's a great scam. Pull over people, here's a ticket, pay it at this bank account, and it's his own bank account. That's a top scam.
That is a top scam. But not very thought out.
No.
There's better scams.
Yeah. Like our pyramid scheme that we're starting up. Oh, very good.
We're starting a pyramid scheme?
Yeah, well, why not? We can. It involves our calendar that we're making.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's why we need our Patreon for so we can do that sort of stuff, and people can hear our review of our old podcasts. I don't know how we're going to do that, but I'll work something out. I think that'll be really funny to do.
Review our old podcast.
You're really up for that.
I am up for it. I am up for it. And then I'm up for maybe not, the week after that, but in a few weeks' time,
Yep.
we're going to review who are these podcasts.
Done. I think we said in that show that we'll pretend to be them.
Yeah.
And maybe we could pretend to be them to review their own podcast.
Yes.
We'll be the
It's
Australian.
like Inception.
Double Inception, that's right. That's
Yeah.
like when he was playing our clips of us playing the clips from his show.
Yeah.
Inception. But nonetheless, Kieran, I think that we can wrap this.
And then they can review the one that we do of them.
Or they can review the review that we do of our reviews. Of our episodes. Fuck, that's terrible. But anyway, Kieran, I think we can wrap this episode up. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I'm out of articles.
Oh, mate, I'm done too. And look, for all you lovely people over there, all you lovely wankers out there, for all your wanking needs, please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, YouTube, where we've got the video of Kieran saying his apology for losing the weight loss challenge, and obviously on Spotify, where we're actually getting a few listeners, which is nice to see. The stats are going up, and the followers are nice too. So make sure you click that follow button, and to make sure you get all the latest updates on that. And if you'd like to send us a review, funnily enough, or a rant, or a death threat, or anything else, please email us at weonlydoontakepodcast@gmail.com. Kieran, thank you for another fantastic episode.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
It's nice to lay there, and we'll see you
Sorry,
next.
I had tuned out. I was gone.
Yeah, that's right.
I was in another world then.
And we'll see all you lovely wankers next Thursday.
Oh, man.
Oh, fuck.
Have you listened to the latest episode?
I'm halfway through it. I haven't been able to.
That movie review guy?
Yeah.
Well, what came out of it? I found out that Podcoin is a thing.
Yes.
I now have 278 Podcoins.
Oh, wow. I'm sticking with the Bitcoin. I just listened to it.
No, Podcoin is the you listen to podcasts and you get Podcoins, which you can then cash in for like a $20 gift card when you get like 20,000 Podcoins.
Oh, geez, I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, you should download Podcoin.
I probably should.
Not all. They've actually got a decent selection.
Are we on Podcoin?
No, we're not on Podcoin.
Oh, we should do that.
We should be on Podcoin.
I think we should.
Yeah.